Hello beer troopers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets, reviewing some wheat beer from Stigbergets. It's been a while since we did some Stigbergets, but this really piqued my interest. And I got this courtesy of Beerdome, so thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beer. This is a collab between Stigbergets and the Kernel. The Kernel, very iconic brewery from London in England. It's a brewery that I've been a fan of ever since I was a baby beer geek. Their porters and stouts and whatnot have always been great, but also their table beers, single hop beers. They've made so many great beers over the years, and they're a brewery that's really stayed true to who they are. They haven't gone down the route of crazy trends and things like that. They've always been the Kernel, and I love that. So you can still get a lot of all these classic beers. I actually have one of the old style imperial porters or stouts to review in the cellar, which will be fun, which is a fairly fresh bottle. But Stigbergets came together with the Kernel to brew this, their Victorian porter. Like, this is a schooling in beer marketing. Look at this artwork. This screams both Stigbergets and the Kernel in the most magnificent way. We've got these two badgers that's putting up a sign of the beer label, Victorian Porter by the Kernel and Stigbergets, a historic London porter. And the label is the Kernel style. And then you got everything else behind it being the Stigbergets label style. I really love this. I think this is one of the best labels I've seen in a long time. And I love that they're using badgers. There's also something about that that screams like classic English beer. A lot of classic English beer labels have like a lot of animals on them, and I think that's a bit funny that they're carrying on with this route. So yeah, historic London porter, 5.8%, and the spiel about this one is that they came together with the Kernel to brew a very classic beer, a London style porter, which they are very famous for doing at the Kernel. So they actually got inspiration from a recipe from the 1800s when they were brewing this. And just the only kind of modern thing is that they're using the house blend ale yeast that Stigbergets uses for the beer. So that's the big difference. It's not like some historic English ale yeast that they're using. It's the Stigbergets house blend that they use for the porter. And they got the ingredients, which is Golden Promise, Heritage British Crystal Malt, Black Malt, Amber Malt, Brown Malt, Chocolate Malt, and then Fuggles and East Kent Golding Hops. Looking forward to this. I love a good porter. It's been a while since I had... no, it has not, actually. It's been a while since I had an English porter. I was thinking, it's been a while. Actually, no, it has not. But it's been a while since I had a Stigbergets beer and a Kernel beer. So let's check this one out. So Pour is a pretty damn pitch black color in the glass, very dark. It had a very nice, you can see this when I pour some beer in, roasty looking tan head building up there. Looks great. I love that tan roasty looking head. Yeah, let's check out the aroma on Stigbergets and the Kernel's Victorian Porter. Yeah, roasty, toasty, nutty notes, toffee, almost a bit smoky, burnt. It smells really classic. It also smells a little bit dry. Some English porters are sweeter, but this has like some dry aromatics. Something like ashy dryness or something. But coffee maltiness, chocolate maltiness. It smells like fresh dark malts. It doesn't smell necessarily like mega chocolate fudge bomb, whatever, as you get in modern beers. It smells more like the raw materials, like the smell and taste of a chocolate malt and whatnot. It does not, and a crystal malt. It doesn't smell like the modern stuff where it's like all fudgy and whatnot. And it also is is also not a strong beer compared to a lot of modern beers. So that's also part of it. And then also, because it's not super sweet. Sweetness carries a lot of perceived flavor. It smells really good. I love that like charry coffee, almost burnt note to it. It smells really good. Let's try it. Cheers. Thanks to Beerdome for the beer. Really charry. Really, really charry. Roasty, toasty. Without being too sharp and bitter. It has a really nice charry coffee taste. It feels really, really old school, this beer, but a really well-made old school. This is something I really, when I think of Danish brewers, beer here, there's something beer here about this for some reason. And I think it's something a Christian beer here would actually kind of love. There's just something that screams their beers for some reason to me. Like the most, I guess one of the more famous modern porters right now is Enspec and Hop Days London Black. That's more sweet, it's more rich compared to this. This is more dry, more toasty, a bit more bitter, but it tastes like what I think of when I think of like really classic porter. Like classic porters are more bitter, more toasty, more charry. They're not like sweet fudgy and whatnot. It's really pretty dead on. It's like toasted charred nuts, almost burnt nuts, charry coffee, cocoa powder, like espresso beans, a little bit of a burnt toffee, a little bit of caramel, but it really focuses heavily on like dark charry flavors without being bitter or astringent or something like that, which is great. Yeah, this is a great collab. It kind of feels like a Kernel beer. It feels a lot like a Kernel beer. I haven't drunk Stigbergets in a little while. It's been a while since I tried some of their stuff. But to me, this really screams Kernel, which is great. I guess that's what they're kind of trying to do. And they did it well at Stigbergets. This is great. This is awesome. This is a great English porter. I think like a 92 or something like that. This is really nice. I really like this. It's really sessionable too because it's not super strong. And it's got a lot of things going on. And I think a lot of people will knock this like, hey, it's a little bit too thin. It's 5.8%. 5.8%. You could also make this sweeter and richer. It really depends on what you're trying to do. But for a more classic approach to a London porter, this is really nice. Like I think the idea of them being really sweet is maybe a bit more modern, but well, who knows? Look into old brewing books and stuff. You can find out, I guess. But if you're old money, you're going to love this. Even new money, you should try this. So Stigbergets and the Kernel Victorian Porter, great stuff. Check it out. Thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beer. Link for the shop is down below. You might actually still be able to find this because it's a porter. So check them out. Link for the shop is down below. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I want to say cheers and a great English porter. And see you guys in another beer review.